There is something you're avoiding today, and it might be exactly what God wants to use to change everything in your life. Something is happening inside you, and you've been trying to ignore it. It's not a lack of ability. It's not a lack of opportunity. It's as if something is calling you to make a decision, but you keep putting it off. You stay busy, distract your mind, follow your routine, but it keeps coming back. And deep down, you know this is not something small. A lot of people think avoiding is wisdom, that waiting is maturity, that leaving it for later will fix things. But what if I told you that in some moments of life, avoiding is exactly what keeps you stuck? That comfort can be the greatest enemy of purpose. It sounds contradictory, but this is where many people lose themselves without even realizing it. Most people look at the story of Esther and see only a courageous queen. But what almost no one talks about is that before the courage, there was doubt, fear, resistance, and a moment when she also wanted to avoid what she needed to do. And this is exactly where the story stops being distant and starts speaking directly to you. Because Esther didn't change everything on the day she acted. She changed everything the moment she decided to stop avoiding. And now the question is no longer about her. It's about you. What is happening in your life today that you know you can no longer ignore? The discomfort you can't ignore. In Esther 4:1-8, Mordecai discovers the decree that condemned the Jews to death and sends the message to Esther inside the palace, revealing the full truth about Haman's plan. Until then, she was in a place of apparent safety, distant from the problem. But now, everything changes. The information arrives with urgency and weight, showing that it could no longer be ignored. What once seemed distant becomes personal, direct, and impossible to avoid. And in that moment, Esther realizes she can no longer pretend that nothing is happening. In your life, have you ever felt something like this? As if there is something you are avoiding, but it keeps coming back to your mind. You try to distract yourself, fill your time, follow your routine, but the discomfort remains there. As if it were a silent warning telling you that a decision needs to be made. And what if this uneasiness is not by chance, but a call to act with courage in a decisive moment? What you are avoiding today might be exactly what has the power to change everything. But how long will you be able to keep ignoring it? The real fear of acting. In Esther 4:9-11, when she receives Mordecai's response, Esther reveals a real risk. Anyone who entered the king's presence without being summoned could be put to death unless he extended the scepter. It was not emotional insecurity. It was a clear law, a concrete danger. She was not exaggerating. She was being lucid about what could happen. For the first time, the calling stops being just a discomfort and becomes a decision that involves life or death. And at this point in the story, fear does not paralyze because of weakness, but because of the awareness of the cost. In your life, have you noticed that some important decisions come with a fear that actually makes sense? It's not something in your head. It's the risk of losing something, of exposing yourself, of changing an entire path. Whether in a relationship, in your professional life, or even in something spiritual, you feel the weight of what could happen if you act. But this is where many people get stuck, because they wait for the fear to disappear before taking action. The truth is, courage doesn't come when fear disappears. It shows up when you decide to move forward, even with it still there. And if what you are avoiding today is exactly the step that could change everything, what is stopping you from going beyond it? The sentence that changes everything. Faced with Esther's hesitation, Mordecai sends a direct and striking response, revealing that silence would also have consequences. Then he declares something that echoes across generations. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? That sentence completely changes the way Esther sees her position, showing that it was not coincidence, but purpose. Time, place, and position begin to make sense in a deeper way. And in that moment, she realizes that the present carries a weight that cannot be ignored. In your life, have you ever had the feeling that certain things did not happen by chance, as if everything were coming together for a specific moment? Sometimes you are in a place, living something, facing a situation, and deep down you feel that there is a greater reason behind it. It's not just about you. It's about what needs to be done now, even if it is uncomfortable. Maybe you are exactly where you are today, living what you are living, because there is something that depends on your decision. If you are being impacted by this story and want to continue learning the deepest truths of the Bible, scan the QR code that is appearing on your screen and subscribe to the channel. Because here, we reveal things that almost no one explains to you this way. And what comes next can completely change the way you respond to pain. And if this moment is the turning point that could change everything, what are you going to do with it? The decision that defines destinies. After hearing Mordecai, Esther makes a clear decision and asks that all the people fast for her before she acts. Then she declares something that reveals her stance. If I perish, I perish. There is no more negotiation, no more delay, only a firm choice in the face of risk. She understands the weight of the moment and decides to move through fear with awareness. That attitude marks a turning point in the story because it is no longer about avoiding the problem. It is about facing it with courage. And there, a decision begins to define destinies. In your life, have you realized that there comes a point when you can no longer keep postponing what needs to be done? There comes a moment when you grow tired of negotiating with fear and understand that staying still also has a cost. It is when something inside you says that it is time to act, even without any guarantee of the outcome. These are the decisions that change everything, because they break the cycle of doubt and paralysis. And if there is something you already know you need to do, what is still holding you back from making that decision today? Preparation before action. In Esther 4:16, before going to meet the king, Esther does not act impulsively. She asks for something specific, a fast for 3 days, involving all the people in that moment. It was not only about courage, it was about spiritual alignment before the decision. She understands that this step required more than action. It required direction. Silence, pause, and consecration come before the action, showing that there is a time of preparation before movement. And this detail reveals that not every urgency leads to the right purpose. In your life, have you ever felt that before an important decision there is a need to stop, be still, and seek clarity? Not everything is resolved in haste or under the pressure of the moment. Some choices require a deeper alignment. It is when you realize that acting quickly is not always acting rightly. Courage with direction is different from impulse, and that completely changes the outcome. And if what you need right now is not to take the next step immediately, but to prepare in the right way before acting, have you been making space for that? Or are you just reacting? The impact of a single decision. After the time of preparation, Esther presents herself before the king and finds favor, setting in motion a process that reveals Haman's plan and completely changes the course of the story. With wisdom, she exposes the truth at the right moment and intercedes for her people. That decision, which began with fear and uncertainty, turns into deliverance for many. What seemed to be just a personal choice reveals itself as something much greater. And at that point, it becomes clear that a single action can alter entire destinies. In your life, have you ever stopped to think that some decisions don't affect only you, but also the people around you? Sometimes, what you are avoiding seems like something individual, but it may carry consequences far greater than you imagine. It can impact your family, your relationships, your future, and even the path of others. What you decide today can open doors or keep cycles in place that need to be broken. And if what you are postponing is not just about you, but about everything that can be transformed because of it, how long will you keep putting that decision off? Avoiding might be pulling you away from everything. Throughout this journey in Esther, it becomes clear how everything connects in a profound way. The discomfort that cannot be ignored, the real fear of acting, the moment when purpose is revealed, and finally, the decision that changes destinies. Nothing started big. Everything began internally, silently, almost imperceptibly. But each stage was preparing the path for something greater. The story shows that it is not about the absence of fear, it is about responding at the right moment. And when a person understands this, they realize that what seems small can carry a massive impact. In your life, how many times has avoiding something seemed like the safest option? Have you ever felt that postponing a decision brings temporary relief, but deep down, you know you are moving away from something important? There is something you have already recognized, already understood, but you keep leaving it for later. And the question remains direct. What do you already know you need to do, but still haven't had the courage to face? Because avoiding may feel like protection now, but it might be pulling you away from exactly what could change everything in your life. In the end, it all comes down to this. The discomfort showed up, the fear tried to stop you, the calling became clear, and the decision had to be made. The story of Esther is not just about courage, it is about stopping the avoidance of what was already evident. Because avoiding feels safe at first, but little by little, it pulls you away from what could change everything. And there comes a point when not deciding is already a decision. Now bring this into your life. What do you already know you need to do, but keep putting off? What is that point you try to ignore, but it always comes back? It's not about pressure, it's about awareness. Because while you avoid it, nothing changes. But the moment you decide, everything begins to move. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who also needs to make a decision. And tell me here in the comments, what decision are you avoiding today? Sometimes, putting it into words is already the first step out of paralysis. And don't stop here. Watch this next video, because it will speak to you as well.